Ree from mummyoffour.com. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm sharing my top meal planning tips for busy families. If you are a busy mum and the stress of deciding what to make for dinner every night is driving you mad, then this is the video for you. I'm going to share all my tips for how to meal plan, how to grocery shop efficiently, and then how to organize and put the systems in place to save your sanity at dinner time. If you are new here, welcome. Please subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m. I do lots of life hack videos as well as haul videos, speed cleans, vlogs. I hope you will love all of that stuff. Now let's get into the meal planning tips. My first tip is to just set aside some time each week for meal planning. Now, I understand when you are a super busy mum, then having to squeeze something else into your schedule seems like, what are you saying here, Ree? I've got enough on. But I guarantee that spending these few minutes each week dedicated to meal planning and organising what you're going to eat and shop for that week will save you so much time and hassle in the long run. Next, I want you to go and grab a piece of paper and a pen and brainstorm all of the meals that you can make for your family that you know they will eat. If you have got this one list in one place, it saves you really having to rack your brains every time you meal plan, and it makes the whole process so much quicker and easier. As you introduce new foods and new meals, you can add them to this list, and then your meal planning repertoire can expand. Have an allocated place where you store new meal ideas. So when you come across something online, someone suggests something to you, have a place that you keep them so you can always find them. So this could be a Pinterest board, it could be a screenshot and put into a folder on your phone, it could be your notes section, you could bookmark it. Whatever it is, just pick a system and stick to it, because there is nothing worse than being like, I know there was that recipe that I saw, that I heard of, that I really wanted to do, and I put it in one of my very many places, and I can't remember which one. Bonus tip, if you have fussy eaters in your family. Now, I'm quite happy to make a whole video on fussy eaters. I have a lot of experience with this. So let me know in the comments if that is something you're interested in. But just as this quick little bonus tip, if you have got fussy eaters, do not think about presenting a whole new meal, something they've never seen before, because if you present a fussy eater with, ta-da, here is a brand new meal you've never seen before, they're probably going to freak out. The best way to introduce new foods to fussy eaters is alongside things that they are already familiar with. So rather than doing a whole new meal, think of a new vegetable or a new accompaniment or a new add-on or a new side or something. Or if you do want to try a whole new meal, perhaps cook your fussy eater something they're used to. So this is a good opportunity to use one of your freezer meals if you've batch cooked and just frozen a little extra portion of something. So pull that out, feed that to your fussy eater so they're not starving, because if they're starving they're probably fractious and hangry and all the things. Feed your fussy eater something you're familiar with, and then encourage them gently to try a bit of something else that you are eating. And do you know what? Sometimes things that are not on their own plates are more attractive anyway, and they're more likely to be like, oh, what's that there? What have you got? Oh no, it's just mine, you know, that I'm eating here, all for me. Oh, so can I have a bit? Oh, I suppose you could have a little bit of mine, and then suddenly they're wanting to try it because it's on your plate. So just a little bonus tip. Right, back to the meal planning. Next, before we start meal planning, I want you to look at your week ahead. And for this, I'm going to introduce you to my organization station. I have got a blog post about exactly how I put this together that I shall link down below. So if you want to put your own together, I'll show you how to do it with the frames, and all the printables are in there and everything. But basically, let me just show you. We have a list up in this printable of everything that's coming up in the coming week. Let me just put you guys back down here. So let's just suspend disbelief for a moment and pretend that it is not 2020 and we are not in the middle of pandemic. And let's pretend that sometimes you've got a little more going on in your life than Zoom calls, and maybe some evenings you have to take your children to swimming lessons or karate or dancing or whatever the extracurriculars they are, or maybe they even have a birthday party to go to or a play date or whatever it may be. So pop all of these things onto your calendar or your organization station or whatever that looks like, so that you can plan your meals accordingly. You need to know if someone might be out, eating out for the evening. And do you remember that when you go out to a restaurant and eat out? those are the days. So imagine one evening, you know, a certain family member is going to be eating out, or maybe one of your children is having a friend over. All this needs to be taken into account when you're meal planning. The next thing we are going to do is take stock. We're going to have a look inside the fridge and the freezer and see exactly what needs using up. So have you got some things that are about to go out to date, that are going to go bad if you don't use them, or some things that have just been sitting there for a while that aren't necessarily going to go off, but you just kind of want to use up and get rid of. Those are the things that you're going to want to try and use up in this week's meal plan. So we're going to take these things into account when we are meal planning and before we shop. So jot down all those things that you want to use up pretty soon. Implement a one to use and one as a backup system for anything non-perishable in your home. So this doesn't just go for food and meal planning, this is kind of an all around the home tip to just kind of keep on top of things and make your life easier. So for example, I am about to use the last of this laundry detergent, but I'm not going to be out of it because it just means I'm going into my, can't reach it, too short, need the step, backup bottle. So now that I'm going into my backup bottle, this would be written on the shopping list, and next time I shop, I do grocery shopping, then I will buy another one. And this goes for food items, anything that can be frozen, anything store cupboard that kind of lives on your always in stock list. Which brings me to my next tip, which is know your always in stock items. Now these will vary from family to family, but will generally include things like cooking oil, various sauces and condiments, milk, cereal, bread, basics that you will need for breakfast and lunch, because generally when I meal plan, we meal plan for the evening meals and we change those up, and we just kind of keep stock items for breakfast and lunches to kind of have a cold lunch, so we don't have to like cook 2 meals a day. It's more like prepare sandwiches and things, and then breakfast might be toast or cereal and fruit. So these items are kind of your always in stock items, and whenever you run out of those items, if they are fresh, they need to get added to your shopping list. And whenever you go into your backup items or anything frozen or non-perishable, then those need to be added to your shopping list too. My next tip is to keep a central shopping list, and again I do this on my organization station, and all I do is every time that we run out of something or we go into a backup item, then this gets written on the shopping list by whichever family member has used up the last of whatever it is. I mean, in theory, sometimes they don't do this and then they're like, why haven't we got any toothpaste? But did you open the backup one? Yes. Did you put it on the shopping list? No. Well, that's why there's no toothpaste. Once the family members know that the only way they're going to get what they need is by putting it on here, they catch on pretty quickly. Now we're going to draft our meal plan before we shop, but do not panic, it is not going to be set in stone. All we're going to do is write out roughly what we think we're going to make each night, starting with the busiest nights. So let's just pretend again there's swimming nights, so on those nights we're going to want something quick and easy, maybe something to pull out of the freezer, something that's going to be really quick, maybe a slow cooker meal that you will have put on before you left. Those nights, plan something basic, do not overcomplicate. And then on the other nights you can plan things that take a little bit more prep, and those are the nights you will plan in the meals that you will perhaps batch cook so that you can have freezer meals for the following week. And then just add any ingredients that you need for your meal plan that you don't have already in stock to your grocery list. Then before you shop, be it online or in store, all I want you to do is take a photo of the list, and then you've got that with you to refer to, so you're not going to miss anything out. Another little bonus tip for you now: if you can, because you have the capacity to, think about bulk buying where it saves money. So if there are multi-buy purchases of something you can freeze or something that is not perishable, grab it if you have the space to store it, because it will save money on buying it when it's at full price. Equally, if you have got things like chicken that you use a lot of, like we do, quite often we buy a tray of chicken from the butchers and then we just portion that up into kind of freezer bags, and we pop that into the freezer so we can grab a portion of an evening when we need to use it the next day. And we do save a lot of money that way, especially when cooking for a large family of 6. So you've been shopping, you've brought all this stuff home, or maybe you had a delivery, and now is the time to check your haul. So you need to see, was there anything that was out of stock that you were expecting to get that you now don't have, and that'll mean one of the meals is kind of going to be out of the question. Or maybe while you were shopping you fancied something and you picked up something new that wasn't on your meal plan. This is the time to assess it all and see exactly what you've got. The other important thing to do is to look at the best before and the use dates on everything that you have got and put them into order so that you are using the things that are going to go out of date first, working your way down the line to the things that are going to last the longest. Then once you have checked your haul, I just want you to rejig your meal plan, which is super easy to do if you've just got a little bit of magic eraser and a bit of water, and that will wipe off easily. Then all you've got to do is reorder the meals to take into account the things that you have bought and the dates in which you need to eat them. Set an alarm in your phone to go off around the time you're cooking dinner every day, just to remind you to get out anything from the freezer that you may need for the following day. So this might be meats and things that you have frozen that you can leave in the fridge to defrost overnight, or it may be frozen meals where you've done a bit of batch cooking and you've put some aside for a meal for the following day. Having an alarm go off on your phone will remind you to get it out and avoid that kind of situation where it's the next day and you should have got things out already and you have to try and defrost it in the microwave and it's a pain and the food doesn't taste as good and all those things. So get that alarm set daily around the time you would cook anyway. Remember that it is absolutely okay to be flexible. There is a reason I write my meal plan in a whiteboard pen that I can rub out. It is because life happens. So if one evening you're planning to cook a full fancy meal and life just, you know, gets in the way and the children are having one of those days and it just doesn't happen and you end up reaching for a freezer meal or you have a takeaway or whatever it might be, don't beat yourself up. Just go with it, and don't forget the following day just to rejig your meal plan a bit to make sure that you're still maximizing all the kind of the best before and the use dates and things on your food so you're not wasting anything. But please do not feel absolutely tied to your meal plan just because it is written there. It is written in rub out pen for a reason. And for my next tip, I just want you to kind of give yourself a break a little bit. Do not feel that you have to produce cordon bleu, Jamie Oliver caliber food for your family every single night. If you were a busy mum, you were juggling all the things, whether you were working or a stay-at-home mum or whatever it is, I guarantee you your life is crazy busy. So if you enjoy cooking and that really lights your fire, then great, experiment because you enjoy that. But if not, as long as your family are eating a kind of a reasonably balanced diet, you know, they've got some protein, they've got some vegetables, they've got all the things in there. Don't feel guilty if the meals that you make on rotation are not, you know, brand new and exciting every single night, because that's not real life and it's not realistic. And I think we see a lot of pressure put on us online and to be these, you know, master chefs creating these beautiful creations that are all Instagram worthy every night, and that is not necessary. So as long as your family are healthy, as long as they're eating a reasonably balanced diet and they're not repulsed by all vegetables and you can squeeze some into them at somewhere, then you know what, you're doing okay. If they're all fed and happy and healthy, you're winning. You're winning at life. Thank you so much for watching. If you've liked this video, please do not forget to give it a huge thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe using this button here, and then hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 PM. If you want to catch my latest video, it's just across here, and for another video you may enjoy from my channel, it's just down here. See you guys soon. Mwah.